A Sig Sauer M17, the winner of the U.S. Modular Handgun System, MHS, competition. The Gen 3 Glock is now a completely plug-and-play pistol, with endless parts and pieces available. And Sig Sauer has taken the chassis system crown with their P320, but that doesn't mean other pistols aren't just as capable. There was a time when simply running for over 1,000 rounds sans malfunctions would essentially guarantee the success of any given handgun. But now the bar has been raised. Even with a bevy of modern options, such as OEM optic cut slides, ambidextrous controls, and standardized accessory rails, the timing of a product release is still everything. With empty shelves at your local gun store, you're more likely to come across one of these less popular pistols. Sure, you might not find a drop-in trigger for them on Amazon, and your holster selection may be more limited, especially if you aren't carrying with a weapon-mounted light, but many can and will do the work. Over the next, we'd highlight some standouts that didn't make it big for one reason or another. We found all of them to be more accurate and reliable than their circulation numbers would otherwise imply, with advanced features, like such as optics cut slides. We gladly carry any of them on our hips. The links to these products are in the description. Consider subscribing if you haven't already to see more content like this. Without further ado, let's get into it. CZP-10C. CZ pistols have long carried a sort of gun hipster reputation. They're the sidearm you carry when you want a thoroughly modern, high-performing handgun, but also one to buck the trend in a sea of boxy black pistols. Well-appointed and competitively priced, the CZP-10C unfortunately remains a second-class citizen in a world of ever more widespread concealed carry. The CZP-10C is, in our opinion, a tragically underrated carry pistol. It's almost the least expensive pistol on this list, with a suite of well-thought-out features that outrun some of its competitors who've had generations of pistols to fix their oversights and still haven't. Striker-fired and polymer-framed, the P10C features a 4.02-inch cold, hammer-forged barrel and either 9mm Luger or 40 Smith & Wesson chamberings. To put it simply, many people find that it is a direct competitor to the Glock 19. Weighing only 26 ounces, the gun is both compact and ergonomic. If this is the first gun you would be firing, the trigger on the P10C will ruin a lot of other guns for you, because the trigger is just crisp and excellent. There are two finishes, black and urban gray. Although the P10C can hold a lot of rounds in the magazine, they also offer a variant with fewer rounds in states that have magazine restrictions. You can also get it with an extended and threaded barrel if you want to slap on a suppressor. To be honest, we're not really sure why the CZP-10C isn't more popular, especially now that there's an optics-ready model. For shooters looking to purchase the carry or bedside pistol that's ready to go from the register, who have little or no aspirations of playing around in the aftermarket, the CZP-10C is often our first or second recommendation. IWI Masada. IWI is a weapons manufacturing company based in Israel and has been in business since 1933. IWI weapons are used by militaries and police agencies worldwide. The pistol is completely manufactured and assembled in Israel. Its ensemble comes in a cardboard box vise, the almost universal locking plastic case. Undoubtedly, a decision made to keep the pistol's price point in good value territory. Over the decades, since the 1950s, when Remington introduced their first polymer, Model 66 22 caliber rifle, manufacturers have perfected the marriage of synthetics and steel to produce fine, lightweight, reliable, and attractive handguns that must have out-of-the-box good triggers, well-made magazines, effective sights, and other accessories, so that the consumer, after a recommended break-in period, can carry the firearm with confidence. Otherwise, the firearm will not survive in this very competitive niche of the market. The Masada is certainly the other's equal, but it does beat most of them, with price by far. IWI, with more options coming down the road, has a winner. The Masada is an accurate, good-looking polymer handgun that has a great trigger, go-to-war reliability, and many extras found on more expensive examples. However, while it's a good shooter, it doesn't perform any better than any of the other hybrid offerings from the major gun manufacturers. The Masada is equipped with 10 and 17 round magazines with base pads. Beretta APX RDO Optic. Introduced in 2016, just in time for the trials, the APX is Beretta's first mainstream striker-fired pistol. It shares many base features with other polymer-framed striker pistols like tilt barrel locked breech operation. but includes many Beretta signature and design features equally applicable to the Army contract requirements and needs of civilian users. One of the spin-offs of the APX line is the RDO, Red Dot Optic model. This one comes with a slide cutout behind the ejection port that allows insertion of one of 4 different plates to accommodate red dot sights from Burris, Trijicon, Leupold, and Seymour, and any others that share the same footprint as one of the above. The pistol comes out of the box with a cover plate installed so you can use it without a red dot at all if you like. Given the number of pistols coming to market ready for optics, you can bet it's going to be a thing. For a striker-fired plastic fantastic, the APX's trigger is pretty good. For 1911 fans, that falls somewhere between a custom-fit light trigger and an old-school USGI trigger that actually works. Call it better than a stock Gen 3 Glock and a hair behind the new Gen 5. That is to say, totally acceptable. The reduced power spring drops the trigger weight to just over 4 pounds. The APX has a striker release, so the pistol can be taken down without pulling the trigger. Undoubtedly, this is in reaction to some law enforcement agency concerns about the need to pull the trigger on Glocks for a basic takedown. In practice, using this feature is cumbersome. You must hold the slide back slightly out of battery while simultaneously using a tool to depress the plunger. Better yet, just ensure it's clear and pull the trigger in a safe direction. Canik TP9 Elite Combat. Though Canik had an optics-ready pistol with the longer slide TP9 SFX and an OEM threaded barrel variant in the TP9 SF, it wasn't until 2017 that they released what we'd consider their pinnacle pistol, the TP9 Elite Combat. The TP9 Elite Combat ships with 4 different adapter plates that easily accommodate most MRDS on the market, sans the M-Point Acro or brand new Trijicon RNRTC. A standout feature of the Canik plates is that a small charging handle can be attached to either side. While normally we'd relegate that for gaming, it's pretty handy. However, the plate doesn't allow for iron sights of any kind, likely one reason it didn't hit the market as hot as it deserved. Unlike the other pistols mentioned here, Canik was thoughtful enough to include an OWB retention holster as part of the package deal, but we recommend skipping it as it features a trigger finger-to-release system a la Blackhawk Serpa. I really enjoyed my time with the TP9 EC. I was enamored of the appearance, pleased with the performance, and shocked by the trigger. For a high-performance combat pistol that you could snag for about $700, I'm confident you couldn't do any better than a Canik TP9 EC. Do yourself a favor and put a box of rounds through one. I'd be interested to hear what conclusions you come to. And that is all for today. Consider giving us a like if you find this video helpful, and tell us what you think in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in the next episode.